Hello again, folks. Welcome back to Rattlesnake Canyon. Mike here with you as always. Now this video's a follow-on from a little reel that I posted out on our Facebook and Instagram page. And I believe I put it on my own page by mistake as well. Some new snakes into us. And what I'm going to do is open them up. They're still bagged. Now I've not seen these to know what size they are. I don't know the temperaments. So this could be a fun video. Once I've seen them and got an idea of size, I'll seal the bags up temporarily again, and then we'll find them somewhere to live. So I just want to make sure I've got suitable sized housing for them. So let's lower you down and bring you to this area. Which one's on the top? We'll go with this one. A nice guess. So how are you? These are a tad chilly. Obviously they've been here for a short while. But what we've got here, I'm sure most of you will look at that and go, ah, that's a reticulated python. It is indeed. These are coming to me as super dwarf reticulated pythons. Now I'm not sure of the locality. But these are around about 18 months old. As you can see from this one, it's about 4 foot long. And this is, I'm told, part of a pair. Now, I don't know whether this is the male or female as yet. Again, we'll double check that later on. But okay, so we know what we're looking at with this guy. Super dwarf retics are, as their name says, small. Mainland retics can reach, wow, the record for a mainland was allegedly 33 foot, 10 metres. Now, nobody's actually ever been able to recreate or re-find a snake of that size. In fact, there is, I believe, still available a reward for anybody to turn up with a 30 foot plus snake. So, yeah, mainlands are big. Dwarves and super dwarves are a lot smaller, as you'd imagine. Now, super dwarves tend to be around 7 to 8 foot, maxing out at around about 10 foot. Temperament on that first one wasn't bad. In fact, I'm going to pop you down over here out the way for a second so that then I can see where I'm going into. Now this one I actually wanted to leave till last, but we'll do him there anyway, or her, as I'm told. This little beauty once I can get him out, her out the bag. Come here. There she is. Again, another super dwarf. She is a coral albino. Now, again, I'm told similar age, 18 months or so. She is a little bit bigger. Now, females are generally larger in retics, but isn't that absolutely gorgeous? The eyes, just a stunning animal. Now, I do have a customer already interested in this little girl, and they're due to come in and have a look at it this afternoon. So she may already be spoken for. Yes, you are beautiful. And as you can see, I shouldn't speak too soon. Temperament is really, really good. Yeah. Reticulated pythons are renowned for having a bad temperament when you talk about them with people, or were. Now, the reason behind a lot of that, I feel, is a lot of their reputation for poor temperament is based on previous history on older and wild caught animals. Most reticulateds these days are captive bred, and by being captive bred, they are generally bred from more docile parents, which seems to transfer to the babies, and they tend to be nice and docile too. God, these cable ties are super tight. Can't get into this one. That's got it. Just hang that up. I shall speak to that person later. So yeah, this is the last one of today's snaky delivery. And here he comes now. This is the second half of the pair. So again, a normal looking pattern. Again, super dwarf retic, 18 months old. Beautiful animals. Now, as I was saying, super dwarfs average around about the 7 to 8 foot mark. Some will stay smaller. Some will possibly touch on 10. Dwarf retics average around that 10 to 12 foot. Certain localities will get longer, bigger, and they'll reach up to about 15 foot. Once you get past that sort of level, you're into the mainlands, which, as I say, are 20 to 25 foot, and big snakes. They are, from my experience with most of them these days, quite placid, quite well tempered. They are very intelligent snakes. Reticulated pythons are the to my mind, certainly the most intelligent of the constrictors and the most intelligent of what we see in the hobby. They are very active. So even though this is only going to be a 7 to 8 foot snake, I would still recommend a minimum 6 foot by 3 by 3 for it for housing. That will give it plenty of room to climb around, plenty of room for enrichment, branches. They do like to climb. You will see, and those of you who watch other YouTube channels will see very, very large reticulated pythons in certain channels and certain zoos, even in the States, which are, to my mind, overweight. With that, they don't tend to climb, but large retics are very, very big snakes anyway, so you don't get that much climbing from them. They're very powerful snakes. They are a constrictor. They're very slender. They're very muscular. So you do have to be, I hesitate to say careful, but you do have to be aware of their strength and their abilities. Diet with these sorts of things, these guys are currently eating rat weaners, maybe up to small rats for the coral albino. That would be, at this size, I would be feeding these about every 2 weeks. Average lifespan on reticulated pythons is around sort of 20 years. As with most pythons, they can go into their 30s quite easily. Temperature wise, you're looking for a mid-80s kind of temperature, so about 84, 86 is a middle point in the vivarium. I would usually do something like a ceramic heater to provide the background heat, and then using either, particularly for the large vivariums, either something like an incandescent or a halogen spot for a basking area and a hot spot. or even a deep heat projector for them, and then a UV light source. Doesn't need to be a massive UV light source. It could be something like a 24 watt T5 kit that can then go off at night time, and temperatures can be allowed to drop down into the low 70s. So there we have it. Super dwarf reticulated pythons. We don't tend to stock giants anymore, so the mainlands of retics and Burmese, mainly due to the fact of if they don't sell, we haven't got space to house them here. So we have to stock what we're capable of housing. Anything of that sort is generally available for us to order. So if you were looking for anything specific, we can always try and get those kind of things in. But these guys are in stock and they'll be available to reserve from today. Thank you guys. We'll find somewhere to house them, and a few other little bits to do videos on today, so they'll be going out later.